Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a very great weekend. We had a very great time of services this past weekend in both our Saturday morning gathering and our Sunday morning gathering. Very powerful time. Please go back and listen to the replays. God has been doing some very great things for us. I want to take the time today to just encourage all of the men out there. I'll probably come back and add on to this. So I just want to take some time to share my heart with all the men out there. I know oftentimes, especially in our time of climate we're in, our culture, our society, a man is defined as someone that works, someone that provides, someone who is macho, who doesn't cry, who doesn't show emotions. But when God created man, when God created mankind, first thing he said was, let us make man in our image and his likeness. So we were made in God's image and his likeness. Then when God created Adam, Adam had the mind of God. He had the spirit of God. God told him to dress the garden, to keep it. He gave him dominion. Of course, when Adam had sinned and disobeyed God, he asked Adam a question. He says, where are you? He wasn't asking that question from a natural point or a natural state. He was asking that question spiritually. So I'll come back and share more, but briefly, I just want to encourage all the men with, where are you spiritually? Do you know where you are? Do you know where you are spiritually in your life, emotionally, financially, right? I would encourage you and admonish you to identify first where you are. Where are you in your walk with God? Where are you mentally, emotionally, physically, financially? Where are you first? After that, then the second thing that you have to do, which is something Adam didn't do, the second thing as men that we have to do is we have to acknowledge where we failed or where we got it wrong at, right? Adam didn't do that. Adam blamed Eve. He didn't acknowledge his shortcomings or the mistakes he made. So first, examine, identify where you are. Secondly, acknowledge your wrongdoings or your shortcomings. And then number three, and this is the biggest one, Adam didn't do that, is repent and ask God to help you and give you the strength that you need to fulfill what he's calling you to do. Because as men, we have a purpose. And our purpose is more than just working a 9-to-5, making money, raising kids, being a husband, being a father, being a son, being a brother. It goes beyond that. As men, our assignment and our call, our purpose is to be a witness, is to bring people, bring souls to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. That is our purpose. That is what God has called and is calling for all of us as men to do. No matter our age, no matter our ethnicity, no matter our background, he's calling all of us as men not just to be the head of our homes, right? Not just to lead, right? But to be who God is calling and desiring for us as men to be. When we do that, then we'll see our families come into alignment. We'll see our children come into alignment. We will see our wives come into alignment, once we do our part, once we examine where we are, once we acknowledge that, yes, God, I messed up here. Yes, God, I didn't do this right. Yes, I should have done this better. And then when we repent and ask God to help us, to forgive us, and to help us to become obedient to what He's calling and leading for us to do, then we'll see those things come into fruition. And the final thing I'll leave with you is this. Don't be so hard on yourself. And don't try to be the perfect man. Don't try to be the perfect husband, the perfect father, the perfect son, the perfect brother, the perfect pastor, the perfect prophet, because we're not perfect. We're imperfect. God used imperfect people in the Old Testament and the New Testament. So the Bible tells us to mark the perfect man, and that perfect man is Christ. So as we set our eyes as men, as the head of our homes, as fathers, as husbands, as we look to Jesus and set our eyes on Christ, He will help us. But I want to encourage all of us, all the men out here today, don't be so hard on yourself. Let those things go. Lay down those burdens. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you made. Forgive others for what they've done to you. Forgive yourself for what you've done to others and even what you've done to yourself. Because for so long, we've believed the lie of the enemy. We've believed the lie that we're not good enough, that we just have to, that our lives are just going to be this way. And that's not true. Because when Jesus came, He didn't just come to save us from sin. He came so that we might overcome sin. He's no longer on the cross. He's no longer there. He got up. He resurrected. He resurrected so that you and I may have a better life. That's why He says in John, the thief come to kill, steal, and destroy. He says, but I come that you might have life and that you may have it more abundantly. So God has a greater life for us as men. So I want to encourage all of us today. Examine where you are. Acknowledge your mistakes or what needs to be improved. And then the final thing is repent. Much love to you all. Have a very great day. I pray that this helps and encourages you in your walk and your journey with God. Much love. God bless.